Under the Fourth Amendment, people have a right to be free of unreasonable intrusions on their personal liberty. A police traffic stop is an intrusion. A driver's exit from the vehicle, if ordered by the officer, is another intrusion, albeit an incremental one. In Pennsylvania v. Mimms, we take a look at the reasonableness of an incremental intrusion resulting from an officer's policy of routinely ordering drivers from their vehicles without regard to suspicion of wrongdoing.
Pennsylvania v. Mimms established two important points. First, police officers have the absolute right to order occupants out of a car during a valid traffic stop. And second, an officer can lawfully search an individual for weapons if the officer sees a bulge in clothing that's consistent with a weapon being possibly concealed in the individual's clothing.
Two Philadelphia police officers stopped a car to issue a traffic summons for an expired license plate. The car was driven by Harry Mimms. One officer had a policy of ordering all drivers out of stopped vehicles, even drivers pulled over for traffic violations. Despite seeing nothing unusual, the officer directed Mimms out of his car. Mimms complied. Once Mimms had alighted, the officer noted a potential concealed weapon under Mimms's jacket. A frisk revealed a concealed loaded revolver tucked inside Mimms's pants. Mimms was arrested and indicted for carrying a concealed deadly weapon and carrying an unlicensed firearm.
Mimms challenged this arrest, claiming that it violated his Fourth Amendment rights.
The trial court denied Mimms's motion to suppress the firearm evidence, so the prosecution entered the revolver into evidence at trial. Mimms was convicted and appealed to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, arguing that the officer's order to exit the vehicle was an unconstitutional seizure. According to Mimms, the firearm evidence was fruit of an unconstitutional search because its discovery directly resulted from an exit order that unreasonably infringed on Mimms's liberty.
The trial court disagreed, allowing the charges to stand. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court reversed the conviction, saying that the revolver should have been suppressed because the search violated the guarantees contained in the Fourth and 14th Amendments.
The court agreed. The state then appealed to the United States Supreme Court, which granted cert.
The United States Supreme Court took the case and overturned the Pennsylvania Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court ruled that ordering Mimms to exit the car was de minimis and not a serious intrusion upon the sanctity of the person, and as a result did not violate the Fourth Amendment.
Holding that officers are allowed to order occupants out of vehicles on traffic stops, and also holding that once civilians are out of their vehicles, officers can pat down suspects if they observe bulges consistent with weapons being possibly present.